If you've ever interacted with a fan base, there's a good chance you've come across shipping. Perhaps you saw fan art or read some fanfiction. What's supposed to be a fun way to interact with various communities has become quite the headache. We're diving into the different angles of shipping, and any drama surrounding it is just plain stupid. First, what is shipping? Essentially, it's when you like two fictional characters and think they'd be a nice couple. That's it. Something so simple has turned into a convoluted mess, but shipping isn't a new concept by any means. There's a couple more terms I need to define really quick. Canon means something is official. You may hear the term canon ship, and that means that media it comes from has confirmed that these two characters are indeed a pair. If something is fanon, then it's not canon. Typically, fanon pairings and ideas come from headcanons, but at the end of the day, a headcanon is not true to the story the characters come from. It's something you might do or think for fun. You'll often see canon versus fanon debacle whenever there's two or more popular pairings involving similar characters. You'll see them trying to argue why one pairing is more canon than the other, when in reality, neither of them have officially been confirmed. This got really bad in Seraph of the End fandom some years back. I can't believe it's getting revived early 2026. I never would. In Seraph of the End, there were two popular pairings, the protagonist with his best friend and the protagonist with this squad leader. The fans of these pairings went absolutely rabid as they constantly attacked each other for preferring one pairing over the other. I've got another good one for you too. Remember Re:Zero? Yeah, I'm bringing up the protagonist Subaru and Rem versus the protagonist with Amelia. This actually got so bad in 2016 that I got harassed for wearing my Amelia cosplay with my friend who went as Subaru. I was a minor at the time, and it was really uncomfortable to have people making snark comments and insinuating something that just wasn't there. The only ship I have in Re:Zero is my boy Reinhardt and more screen time. Seriously, stop doing my boy so dirty. Ultimately, in the end, I always found the fanon versus canon argument to be really stupid. You can argue with other shippers all you want, but at the end of the day, the only ones that can break the stalemate is the show, game, or media itself. What's the end goal? To convince the other party that your ship is better? Why waste your time on that? They're gonna ship their preferred pairing and you'll continue to ship yours. I always saw these fights to just be a huge waste of time. If another pairing really bothers you, we have some amazing tools like the mute and block buttons to see less of what we don't like online. Queer baiting. It really stings to cover this, but I've seen some media dabble in queer baiting. For the record, I'm not queer myself, so if I get anything wrong, please correct me in the comments. I also want to make it clear that I don't mind these types of ships. If a character has a fun dynamic, I'm here for it. Typically, queer baiting is when the official media will hint at two characters possibly becoming a canon pairing, but it never really happens, leaving viewers disappointed. Granted, many shows don't even make any pairing canon regardless of gender, but it's more often seen with the queer pairings. The biggest example I can think of is Bungo Stray Dogs. They've created quite a few scenes with Chuya and Dazai, and another pairing with Atsushi and Akudogawa. Typically, seeing these characters on screen interacting with these subtext gets fans excited as the possibility of them becoming canon, but they rarely ever do. You may also see merchandise of various forms continuing to bait the fans. It's like a carrot on a stick you can never reach. They'll give just enough content to satisfy their screen time, but never commit. These characters' plot lines may grow stagnant as there's never a real resolution to their dynamic. We won't ever get the payoff, whether it's the pair becoming canon or something else entirely, putting them in a limbo state. I think the most frustrating thing is when any character's story, personality, etc. is compromised for the sake of baiting fans. It really sucks to see a very well-written characters boiled down for the sake of fan service. Pro shipping. Oh boy. Here we go. I think this is the section that I'll get flamed for the most. First, let's discuss what it means. Pro shipping is short for problematic shipping. Essentially, if you are labeled a pro shipper, it means you ship something that someone else deems as problematic. This can include, but not limited to, big age gaps between pairs, toxic dynamics, abusive dynamics, etc. This term actually confused me when I first came across it a few years back, as I thought it was short for pros and cons. I thought being a pro shipper meant you were for whatever ships. I guess in a way that's still true, but if you're labeled a pro shipper, it's typically not a good thing. Many will be quick to point fingers at you, saying that if you ship a certain pairing, that you are a bad person. I remember a few years back there was a pro shipping argument over various pairings from Inuyasha. The big one that a lot of people deemed problematic was Sesshomaru and Rin as the original anime. Sesshomaru saved Rin when she was a child, and there's a large age gap between them. I'm sure you can already see why so many people have a problem with this ship. This ship actually became, quote, canon in the Yasha Hime sequel, but many fans have decided to reject that show entirely due to its contents. A huge part of pro shipping comes down to personal morality, but where this gets sticky is that other people in the fandom feel the need to police others. Sometimes the media depicts romance in pretty horrible ways. Some glorify the gross dynamics, while others try to warn the audience of what these gross dynamics can do to someone. But there's one key thing that we have to remember. This is all fictional. Am I going to go around shipping things I personally don't like? No, but I'm not going to harass someone for shipping something that I don't enjoy, even if it's problematic. I'm not going to try to police them and grandstand on my own morals. I'd rather put my efforts and resources elsewhere. A lot of people in fandoms feel justified in harassing pro-shippers because they see them as evil for liking whatever pairing they deem problematic. They'll use fictional characters as an excuse to be horrible to real people. Speaking of real people, that's my next section. Shipping real people. Don't do it. Shipping fictional characters is usually accepted because of the fact that they aren't real. Though many fans tend to blur the line between fiction and reality, but that's besides the point. Shipping real-life people comes with real-life discomfort and consequences. We're going to jump to the VTubing space to look at some examples. The big one I see is fans shipping Iron Mouse with Seadog VA. The two are very close and they get along really well. You can enjoy their collabs, but taking it one step further to shipping isn't healthy. These are real people. To force the romantic angle upon them is not only a huge boundary you are crossing, but it's just not your business. You can also get to the other extreme, where fans may want to ship themselves with the VTuber they idealize. This taps more into parasocialism side of things, but there's certain companies that don't let their female and male talents interact much in fear of fan retaliation. This happens more often than you would think in the VTubing world and streaming spaces. Fans of two communities will enjoy content creators and then nudge them, slowly encroaching on their privacy. There's a reason why so many creators keep their significant others private. Jumping to the animation scene, two really great creators named Jaded Animations and The Odd Ones Out fell victim to this too. Fans began to ship them, and I believe one, if not both of them, had to come forward to try to shut this down. I think this even got more complicated because The Odd Ones Out did publicly address that he had a significant other and got some pushback for it. So please, just don't ship real people. If you like two people together, just keep that to yourself. Fan creators. Part of what keeps fandoms alive are its creators. This can be artists, writers, and video makers such as myself. Many artists and writers in particular will contribute to fandoms they love through art or fanfiction. It's thanks to these creators that we have so much extra content for the media we love, and that includes shipping. You'll find some of the most cute artwork and thoroughly written fanfiction as these works are created by fans that have a genuine love for the series. This sounds great on paper, but it's the other fans that end up ruining it for everyone. Instead of scrolling past a ship art they're not a fan of, they will harass the artist. Maybe you've seen some bios on Twitter or elsewhere that say DNI, which is short for do not interact. Typically followed by a reason. Yeah, some people will write DNI if you ship a specific pairing. I've used this example before, but the Ayato and Yaimiko ship tag got flooded with gore and disturbing imagery by fans because they either 1, did not like the ship, or 2, deemed it problematic due to the age gap. For some context, Ayato and Yaimiko are from Genshin Impact. Ayato is a human, and Yaimiko is a kitsune, so she's much older. Fictional ships is just something you need to mute or scroll past if you don't like it. No one is titled to an artist's art or a writer's piece of writing. If you want to see more art or fanfics of a pairing that you like, be the person who makes it. It boggles my mind how comfortable fans are harassing these creatives for contributing to the community. Unless you commission these creatives yourself, you don't have a say in what they draw or how they draw it. This next point will be quicker, but it's part of this shipping community is that a lot of people willingly ignore. It's the harassment that creatives get for straight shipping. Don't get me wrong, I've seen harassment towards gay ships, lesbian ships too. But I'm seeing so many people pretend to ignore that it's happening for straight ships as well. It's happening to all types of ships. I've seen some artists get chased off the internet because they drew a straight ship that someone didn't like. I see this a lot with the gacha protagonists. There was an issue in the past with Firefly from Honkai Star Rail getting some cutscenes with the Trailblazer, who's the protagonist. When it was Stell, the female protagonist, a lot of fans cheered saying how much they loved their dynamic with Firefly. When it was Kalis, the male protagonist, suddenly it became a problem and Firefly was just another waifu-bait character. In this case, it's also a bit of a double standard as Stell and Kalis are interchangeable with only a few minor differences, if any. You'll see this argument in the Genshin community as well whenever a female character drops with slight undertones of interest towards the protagonist. They get labeled as part of Aether's harem. The main ones I've seen fall into this are Keqing, Ayaka, and Nilu. Oh, and Shenhe during her trailer way back when. Hate to break it to you, but Lumine gets the exact same interactions if she's the protagonist. Plus, there are some male characters that give those same undertones like Xiao and Linny. I really don't get why the community has made this such a problem. Solutions. If I make a video discussing a problem like this, I try to find some solutions. There's some simple ones like making sure ship art tags are properly tagged so that everything remains organized, but the main solution I think is to learn how to leave people alone. You can have a different preferred ship and still exist in the same space as someone who doesn't. If you view a specific ship to be problematic, mute the tags and move on. Trying to police others on what they are and aren't allowed to like is exhausting as hell. The only actions you can control are your own, so spend that time looking at the ships you do enjoy rather than trying to ruin it for other people. If there's not enough content for a ship you like, be the one that makes it. There's no rule saying that you can't create. Be the change you want to see. Shipping drama is so stupid and I'm too old for it. Because this is all fictional characters in fictional worlds, if there's something you don't like, you need to learn to scroll past it. I think we need a healthy reminder that these characters aren't real people, and just because someone may like a ship you don't like, doesn't make them problematic. Liking a specific villain character doesn't mean you endorse their horrible actions. The same goes for ships. Thank you so much for watching. Really quick, I want to thank you guys for over 5,000 subscribers. That's just really cool, and I hope you'll stick around to see what's to come. I post plenty of shorts if you like quicker content, too. If you enjoyed, please leave a like and consider subscribing, but before you go, let me know who your favorite ship is in the comments below. I want this video's comments section to serve as a place where you all can gush about your favorite pairings in peace. Just keep it respectful. I hope to see you in the next one.